Are you serious? Are you serious? Where is Nibiru? Planet X. It didn't show up yesterday. Just like I told you, it's not good. Look, folks, seriously. No man knows the day nor the hour. No, not the angels in heaven, not the Son of God, but the Father only. But is there going to be a deep impact? Is there going to be two deep impacts? Yes, there is. And if you go to Revelation chapter 8, I'll show you. It's even called wormwood. Here's what the Bible says. When the seventh seal is opened, there was silence in heaven for about the space of a half hour. And then in verse 8, so if you go to Revelation 8:8, and the second angel sounded as it were a great mountain, burning with fire, was cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood. And a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And a third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Now these two deep impacts have not happened. Now we do know there was rumors, of course, that yesterday was going to be the rapture or the end of the world. I'll be honest with you, David Meade never said that, okay? And I think it's fair that we bring this up because the media really wanted to hype it up. But David Meade, who I've interviewed on my live show before, said, no, I didn't say the rapture is April 23rd. I said he said that April 23rd we might be able to see Nibiru that day because of the planet alignment, that it may be visible. From what I understand, it wasn't visible, and certainly there was no rapture or no end of the world. But David Meade wanted to be sure people understood that he did not prophesy this, okay? And he actually was interviewed by several different newspapers and websites, media outlets, especially out of the UK. Now, here's the bottom line, though. The bottom line is we are going to have two deep impacts. And I just read it to you right out of the book of Revelation. Also, the Bible does tell us that in the last days we're going to be seeing some signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. So David Meade is correct on that. Now, is he correct that there's a planet X? I don't know. A lot of people think there is a planet X or Nibiru or some type of binary system that's putting tons of pressure on our solar system and on this planet. Now, here's what Jesus said. Let's just see what Jesus said about it. He said in Matthew 24, he talks about all kinds of events that are going to happen. But if you go to Luke 21, Jesus said these words. In Luke 21:25, he says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, and men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. The powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay? So there's something going to shake or gravitational pull that's literally going to shake the heavens. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, he said, look up. Lift up your heads, your redemption draweth nigh. Now, then he goes on to talk about the fig tree. When you see its leaves begin to shoot forth, you know that summer is nigh. I know if you start to see in these apocalyptic signs of the end times, you know that you're in the end times. Even the Apostle Paul spoke of the heavens and the earth are going to shake. All right? And even the prophet Isaiah said in the 24th chapter of Isaiah that the earth was going to reel and was going to toss to and fro, reel to and fro like a drunken man. So we're going to see, and we are beginning to see, the signs of the apocalypse coming very soon. The word apocalypse, the Greek word for revelation or unveiling or revealing. The Bible says that the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus Christ. And we're not to fear prophetic events, but we're to embrace them, because these are the groanings, these are the birthing pains of the end of the age. So, no rapture, as we said, wouldn't be. And now, David Meade is predicting that sometime in October, that Planet X or Nibiru is going to become visible, and that there may be some significant apocalyptic events upon the planet due to the gravitational pull from this binary system that he calls Planet X or Nibiru. Now, remember, NASA are the originators of the Planet X. Well, we can go way before that. I mean, some of the ancient writings talked about the Hopi Indians, and some of the others talked about Nibiru, okay? But it was in 1985 that NASA declared that they had discovered a Planet X. Now, after 7 years of researching that, they then said that they just went silent. Their lead scientist died, and they just quit talking about it. But in 2015, in December of 2015, these astronomers up in the mountains of Chile spotted what looks like a Planet X. And they spotted this binary system, and they seen it in the constellation of Orion. All right, in the constellation of Orion. And later, NASA confirmed that, yes, these from Chile, these astronomers did see this entity. But NASA decided to call it planet number 9 instead of Planet X. So we've got Nibiru. We can call it Nibiru. We can call it Planet X. We can call it number 9. Either way, the Bible speaks about wormwood, speaks about the constellation of Orion, that there will be wormwood and judgment. These things are in the Bible, folks, in the book of Job. And so we're just going to keep a close eye on all of this. Jesus said, though, there would be these signs in the last days. So continue to watch. Don't go like this. Well, there's nothing to... Okay, here's what happens. Every time a date gets set, and this one I believe was set by the media, every time a date gets set and passes, because they will pass, they'll never come true, then the next conversation is the Bible's. They start trying to say the Bible's not true, that none of this is ever going to change, which is exactly what the Bible says they're going to say. In the last days, Apostle Paul wrote, in the last days, scoffers will come, mockers and scoffing, saying, where's the promise of his coming? Where's the end of the world? And they will begin to mock and declare that Christ is never going to return and that the world was never going to end. Yet why do they dig these underground cities? Why are they building underground cities? To hide, to protect themselves from the coming apocalypse. And why does Elon Musk want to build a colony on Mars to save humanity? It's because they know that the apocalypse is coming. And give your life to Jesus Christ, because I know Christ is coming. Are you saved?